And welcome back, for the final time, to Let's Play Persona 3. Not just episode I guess or the answer, Persona 3 in general. This is it. This is the final video. We just have one set of challenges left to go, and we're done. This has been 2 years in the making, and honestly, I don't even know how to feel about it. It's always kind of sad when I get to the end of an LP, because I kind of consider Let's Playing a game and showing it off to a greater audience, showing off my accumulated experience with the game. It's kind of the logical endpoint of what I want to do with that game, so where does that leave me with Persona 3 afterwards? A game that, honestly, with all the time I've spent with it, I would say this is probably one of my favorite games of all time. It's crazy to think about, because back when I was 16 and my only experience with this game was Persona 3 Portable, and I just thought Persona 4 was a flat upgrade. I never thought I'd find myself thinking that, but spending so much time with it, checking out all the different versions, seeing how it's changed and evolved, sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worse, it is just really a special game for me, and probably one of the ones that I've played the most. As far as raw hours go, if you want to know what has the most hours for me, that would be the Splatoon series by far. But for a single-player game, this is definitely the most I've ever spent time on the game. That's neither here nor there, though. Our final challenges are the Monad Chambers. The Monad Chambers split the difference between stat checks and puzzle bosses for your final challenges, and to that effect, I decided to take the effort to grind out my party to level 99 here. Okay, only Aigis and Akihiko got to level 99, just because that's how the experience worked out. But hey, Metis and Yukari are close enough. We're mostly going to be using similar setups. Well, actually, we're going to be using identical setups to what we did for the final boss otherwise. I could have gotten a Frozen Stone for Akihiko just to patch out his weakness completely, but it really should not matter that much. Metis is more or less fine with what she has here. I have a completely separate file set up for the ultimate boss of the Monad Chambers, because, well, take a look at this file here. This is a file I made before entering the Monad Chambers. As you can see, I played a lot more efficiently here. I was originally going to just load up this file to go into the Monad Chambers, but then I realized I'm kind of set up better on the main LP file, so why don't I just spend an hour, and literally just an hour, killing the Reaper until I had all the experience I needed to feel comfortable taking on the Monad Chambers. The second file here, that is the amount of time it took me to prepare for the true final encounter of the game. It takes a while. That is like half an entire playthrough it took me to get ready for the ultimate bonus boss, and it is brutal. I have a completely separate recording for that I'm going to stitch into this, so we are all set, don't worry. This is not going to be an unfortunate choke point. As far as changes for Aigis here, as you can see, I've got Orpheus Talos here, set up with all the auto buffs, Enduring Soul, Debilitate, Charge, and Concentrate, in case I end up needing those. For the most part, we're mostly going to be sticking to our standard persona here. We've got Quetzalcoatl for ice coverage, Cert for fire coverage, Siegfried here for slash coverage if we need it, Norn with a very powerful Fonterey at her disposal, Sibylle to not really do anything. I just kind of got Sibylle here. And then we've got Thanatos kicking out here to give us powerful Dreamfest. This should honestly be sufficient for all the bosses that we are going to be coming across in the Monad Chambers. One thing that I've thought to do before we got into this, the sound's about to cut out for a second, get this little guide I have handy for reference on what the Monad Chamber bosses will throw at us. Everyone except Aigis is, fully charged on their Theurgy, which I'm going to refrain from just taking out the bosses immediately with Theurgy's anyway. I do have Armageddon unlocked for Aigis, because that makes it much more efficient in slaying the Reaper, but I'll try to use it sparingly. There's only one fight where it takes forever if you don't use Armageddon to finish it off, where I'll probably end up using it just to speed it up. We have a handful of Somas left over to fully restore ourselves for the succeeding battles, if we need them. Starting things off here, you have to defeat this enemy to move on. Are you ready? Oh, you know it, you know it. I'm not gonna run through the typical catchphrases here. Let's get into the Immortal Gigas battle. No matter who I'm up against, I'll always protect my sister. We can count on Metis here. I'm mostly just going with this party because it's what we use for the final boss, but I do think it's cute that we also have the ideological opposites when it came to the party Schism on the same team, plus the newcomer Metis. I think it's a pretty clean team. This is the team I actually used for my practice first playthrough of this mode, so I kind of just feel comfortable using it. Anyways, we've got the Immortal Gigas and 2 Visceral Mayas. Now, the Visceral Mayas will mostly just spam buffs and debuffs, while the Immortal Gigas will use physical attacks. When the Mayas have fully debuffed you or buffed up their side, they will start spamming Infuriate to enrage your party. The Immortal Gigas can repel all physical types, so obviously that is no bueno. The Mayas themselves are a little unthreatening because they are actually vulnerable to fire spells, so we can just knock these guys out with Infernos. As you can see, they have a ton of HP, 12,000 to burn through. The Immortal Gigas himself has 18,000 HP, so we're mostly going to be focused on trying to take out these Visceral Mayas, and then we will get to work on the Immortal Gigas. Let me see here. You know what? Just to give these guys a little bit of time to stunt, let's actually just use Maragi Dying to spread some damage around. As far as magic goes, the Immortal Gigas is otherwise, just vulnerable to all conventional magic attacks. His physical resistances is the main thing you have to worry about. He is resistant to wind and nullifies light, but everything else is fair game, so just go with that. Let's see here. We will have Akihiko go for Matarunda here. Keep these guys debuffed so that they are tempted to keep using Tarukaja to offset what we've hit them with. Heat Wave coming out from this guy. As you can see, he hits pretty hard, but not hard enough for me to be concerned. What I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to have Yukari throw up Tranquility so that we can hit a pretty significant Maragi Dyne on the next turn. I'm going to Yo for Maragi Dyne instead of an individual Inferno, since that'll deal pretty considerable damage to all of these guys. You know what? Even though it would be bounce back at Metis, she has physical resist. I'm just going to go for the Akasha Arts anyways. It's just really good damage. If she gets a crit on the Mayas, then she can pass that right over to Aigis. Speaking of Aigis, let's hit the Maragi Dyne here. Get some pretty significant damage going on these guys. And now we can pass on over to Akihiko here and have him hit the Thunder Spike to deal some pretty big damage, or Lightning Spike. I always get the names mixed up on these attacks. With the Tranquility buff in effect, this is going to deal some pretty wonderful damage, even if it is half the damage of his... What is it? Here comes the Infuriate. Even if it is half the damage of his... We don't have to worry. Yeah, Akihiko's gonna immediately go for that. God's Hand coming out from the Gigas. I'm not too concerned about that. Yeah, that takes out Yukari, but that's fine. Aigis and Metis still have insta-heal, so we're perfectly fine there. Gonna hit the Bomb of Life on Yukari, just so she gets an opportunity to recharge her Theurgy again. Going to hit Cert here to just take out the remaining Mayas. Now we can get to work on finishing off the Immortal Gigas here. We're going to utilize Charge on Metis to get her Theurgy ready. Akihiko, as you can see, is going to kill himself. I could have helped him out there, but it's not really a big deal. We will be doing a bit of a rotation of buffs and debuffs here to get the party powered up. I am going to have Metis hit her charge first, just so we have that ready for the future, and then we can start running through all the buffs that we need to. Maybe hit this guy with another Debilitate if we want to. So yeah, there's our buffs expiring. We will be just fine, though. So let me see here. Do I have somebody with Matarukaja on Aigis here? If not, I can just hit Ma Rakukaja, and yeah, Ma Rakukaja, perfectly fine. We're just getting everything set up here. Then we can just pop off with all our Theurgies, get Ma Sukukaja up, and every buff that we get on Akihiko just gets his Theurgy ready that much faster. Yukari can just focus on healing the party up now. Metis, oh, that's unfortunate, but not the end of the world. She does have her resistances to fall back on. Remember that we've got the Divine Pillar on Aigis, so she is actually not able to dodge anything, but I don't care about that, really. It is not a huge deal at all. Metis getting back up will give us the Matarukaja to keep our offenses hefty, and then next turn we will be having her throw out her Theurgy. I'm probably just going to slap another Debilitate on Immortal Gigas here, just to make sure that we're good to go. His defense isn't dropped anyways. He still had the Rakukaja buff in effect, so it's a good idea to get that going on him. Akihiko here has a Zeodyne at his disposal. Not concentrated up anymore, but that's fine. As you can see, still as you can see, still plenty of damage. Yukari, unfortunately, doesn't really have much to do here except throw out Medea Rahans to get her Theurgy built back up, because this guy is resistant to wind, so it just wouldn't be worth it to go for it on hitting him with that. Now we can go for Charging Blitz. Obviously, it would be ideal if this guy was knocked down, but that's not always something you can rely on, so let's just get into it with the Charging Blitz here. Do some wonderful damage off the back of this one. There we go. 4,300. Perfectly good there. I'm going to concentrate up, and we can hit a Dream Fest the next turn to probably finish him off. There's no reason to go for Oracle at this point. We may as well just conserve it for... well, actually, that doesn't matter at all. It does rob him of his turn, but remember that Shock does not overwrite physical weaknesses there, so it's not like Freeze, where I could have Metis hit the Akasha Arts there. Yeah, there really isn't too much for Metis to do here, so I'm actually just going to have her burn a little bit of her SP here, so that she's charging up more Theurgy. Defense is reverting, but that is a-okay. Let's switch on over to Thanatos here and hit the Dreamfest. Shouldn't really matter if our defense boost expires here. This will be our first battle for the Monad Chambers completed, hopefully. Okay, not quite. We still got a little bit more to chew through, but Akihiko should be good to go here. Honestly, since we still have the attack boost up, I'm just gonna hit this. We still have Concentrate on Metis, so I might just have her hit the Garudine anyways. Unfortunately, Bufudine was the one that I decided to drop from her skill list, so we're not going to be able to rely on that, but that's okay. The attack up is probably expiring on her, but we still got debility. Oh, never mind, there we go. That's fine, that's fine. Victory is ours. We get a shuffle time here, and what the heck, we may as well take this Chariot Arcana. Why not? Get a little bit of extra HP for Aigis there. Get level 98 for Fuka, for as much as that's worth. There might be a treasure chest up ahead, but I sense an enemy presence there too. If you're worn out from battling, don't push yourself too hard. Take some time to recuperate. Let's continue though. We've got plenty of healing items, and once we're done with these chambers, we're gonna have nothing to use them on. Understood. I'll continue to provide support. If it gets too dangerous, don't hesitate to retreat. So, we only really need to get some restoration onto Aigis here, so let's use up some of our chewing souls. Get her up to... Honestly, I probably should have just stuck with 2 there, but that's fine. Heading into the next battle, first off, we can grab some treasure here, get a Bead Chain EX, much appreciated there, and another Soma, so excellent, excellent. That means we actually have enough Somas that I could heal myself up with them after every battle at this point. Or you could go back and use your ample amount of Twilight Fragments on the restorative clock there. It is actually, what the?
No way!
That shadowy figure again. Wait, no. Something else. I've never sensed anything like it before. I doubt it's a regular shadow, so if you decide to track it down, please be careful. Huh. Yeah, that's interesting. It looked familiar. Not exactly something we've seen in the past, though, but it's like some kind of call forward, as weird as that sounds. Well, I'm probably overthinking it. Let's get into this next battle here.
Powerful enemy spotted.
It's a very powerful enemy. Please make sure you're fully prepared for the battle. I am always ready. With Orpheus Talos in tow, we have such a good defensive start to every battle we get into. No matter who I'm up against, I'll always protect my sister. Yeah, Metis is kind of hogging the dialogue options here. Anyways, we've got Heat Balance, Sky Balance, and Primitive Idol.
What's my next move?
So, the Heat Balance and Sky Balance are the typical things you'd expect. Heat Balance is weak to Elec and Wind. Sky Balance is weak to Fire and Ice. They only have 5,000 HP each. Primitive Idol in the back here has no weaknesses, is resistant to the core elements, repels Light and Dark, and has normal resistances to Strike, Slash Strike, and Pierce. Conveniently, the Sky and Heat Balance also have standard resistance to normal skills. The main thing to keep in mind is that all of these guys have Endure, so when they first hit 1 HP, they will not be killable. And they also have access to Dirahan, so you need to be able to make sure you can follow up on the big damage that you deal with a killing blow if you want to get them defeated. Otherwise, this is a pretty standard fight. They will use elemental breaks to destroy your resistances, but I am not at all concerned about that. We're just going to start with Assert here, hit the Inferno on the Sky Balance. Then we are actually going to pass directly over to Metis and hit her with the sister amp. And we can use Gotterdyne to knock down the heat balance over here. And this will allow us to enjoy a wonderfully powerful Akasha Arts. Won't have a charge up on it, but this will still be pretty significant damage. And again, we're not in a hurry to get these guys made vulnerable. We do need to make sure we're able to finish them off. So it would be a good idea. Here comes the Fire Break, making sure that none of us resist fire skills. Wind Break also coming out, so things are getting a little bit stinky in here, I gotta say. Let's just have Akihiko hit a God's Hand on the Primitive Idol over here. As you can see, the Primitive Idol has 2 turns to make them stand out a little bit more. Yukari, we are going to just have her... Let's have her actually do Medea Rahan here. If we're fortunate enough, we might be able to hit a Tranquility.
Thank you for your support.
Okay, this guy is getting back up, and is actually a pretty convenient target to get back up. As you can see, that's not something I'm super threatened by. Let's hit this one with the Gotterdyne. And what we will do here is actually, we will switch over. This might seem a little counterintuitive. I'm going to switch over to Aegis here, because I want to get her Theurgy gauge charged up. Not for this battle specifically, though. We're going to switch over to Norn now, and hit a Fontaray on the heat balance. Remember, we're trying to time this so that we can follow them up. We can hit them with either a double tap Akasha Arts, or just in general, we can get them down to 1 HP, and finish them off on the succeeding turn. The attack drop is a little unfortunate, but not the end of the world, so let's go for Inferno here on this guy. And I might actually use Oracle here. Yeah, let's use Oracle here, just to see if we can get our stats rebuffed back up. Or Charge and Concentrate should also work. Yeah, that's fine, that's fine. Now, we're going to just get a little bit of Theurgy gauge back for Fuka here. Just keep scanning all these guys so we get that condition triggered. As you can see, I don't really need to know what these guys are because I have a guide handy, but, you know, it's just a fun little bit of help to have. Now, we are not going to go for a Theurgy. We are going to use Akasha Arts so that we can double tap through... God damn it. Okay, it's going for the Ice Break. That works out fine. And what are you going to go for here? Elect Break? Okay, all of our elemental resistances are down, but that is fine. Akihiko gets his next turn. We can just go for the Lightning Spike here. Finish these guys off right quick. We will still have to burn through the Primitive Idol, but now we are spoiled for choice on options to deal with this thing. There we go. Let's just have Yukari, honestly, just go for... normal physical attack there. Now we can focus on having Metis and Aegis fish for critical hits. So we're going to swap over to Siegfried now and spam Brave Blade to hopefully get the crit. If we can pass it over to Metis, charge plus a... unfortunate miss there. Charge plus a... oh hey, now that the other ones are dead, it doesn't get 2 turns anymore. But charge plus a Sister Amp is some pretty sick damage, I gotta say. Yeah, we'll just save Yukari's Theurgy. No crit coming through here, but we have a charged up Charging Blitz, so why don't we just hit that real quick. This should be some decent enough damage. It might have been worth it, honestly, to hit Debilitate instead, but this is still perfectly functional. I'm fine with this. We've got buffs from Fuka coming in here. Oh, never mind. I can just tap it with a normal physical attack. The Endure means it only has 1 hit point left, so we don't really need to concern ourselves with that. Let's see here. Yeah, what the heck, let's boost everyone's HP, why not? Every little bit helps, right? That is 2 down and 3 to go, but only 2 for this save file. Hey, Yukari got level 99. There might be a treasure chest up ahead, but sense an enemy presence there too. If you're worn out from battling, don't push yourself too hard. Take some time to recuperate. Let's continue on. We honestly understood. I'll continue to provide support. If it gets dangerous, don't hesitate to retreat. We honestly don't really need to restore our SP here. After that battle, we got another couple chests. Inside this one, get a Nihil Black model and Earrings of Grit. The Earrings of Grit give you the Endure passive, another avenue for having that, in addition to things like the Shoes of Eminence, which give you Enduring Soul. And remember, as the Elizabeth boss fight taught us, there is value in stacking up those abilities, so don't underestimate the combo. This next boss fight here is probably the most puzzle-intensive one we've got here. It's a pretty interesting one, and I like the conceit of it, so let's get into it. It's a strong enemy. Are you ready to fight? I'm ready. No matter what shows up, I'll do this. Not exactly the most inspired dialogue from, Yukari there. Anyways, the El Dorado Beast has 13,340 HP. Not a ton, but the thing is that it is highly resistant to everything. It has like a 90% resistance to all, attacking types, except Almighty. And obviously Theurgy's punch through that. It also has pretty high defense. This Amorous Snake over here is normal to everything except it drains fire and repels light, and it critically is weak to wind skills. Now this Amorous Snake has very unique behavior. When it is hit for 2,000 HP of damage, so let's nail it with Fontaray to immediately send it to the ground. And then we are going to actually pass over to Yukari here to hit it with a Garudyne. I don't know if it's exactly 2,000 HP or around 2,000 HP. Regardless, we want to get it down that much, so 641. Yeah, just another Garudyne from Yukari, and this is guaranteed to make it do its unique behavior. Now, the El Dorado Beast, as you can see, is going to... he also regenerates 800 turns every time or 800 HP every time he gets an action, so that can be pretty obnoxious. What we're going to do here is we are going to use one of our Deikaja gems just to get rid of that guy's abilities. Unfortunately, I don't have Ken at our disposal anymore, which he was our dedicated Deikaja gem user. Let's, let me see here. I'm actually going to tack a little bit more damage onto the Amorous Snake here. I've got an idea for what I want to do, so I'm gonna actually, switch over to, Debilitate. The Amorous Snake, when it's taken enough damage, will life drain the El Dorado Beast for 2,000 HP. Now, let's hit this Fontaray again. And then we are going to, debilitate onto the El Dorado Beast here, and my goal here is to double tap it. I want to hit it with a Theurgy, and then I want to just Armageddon to finish the fight faster. This is the one battle that I want to use Armageddon to bypass the intended way through it. It would just be too annoying to slowly chunk through this guy otherwise. Got our resistance there. Let me see. May as well just fish for a critical God's Hand. See if I can't pass it over to Yukari and use Cyclone Arrow on the guy. Let's make sure that our attack buffs stay active here. Okay, it's gonna go for another life drain here. So recovered 1,600 HP, took 4,000 HP of damage. So yeah, we wouldn't be able to kill it with Armageddon here. So actually, what I'm gonna do, oh, that actually puts me at a interesting spot. Oh dear. What I'm going to do here is we are going to... Do I actually have an almighty attacking option? If I could just get a little bit more damage tacked onto this guy. Well, actually... I don't want to risk it. Let's take one more turn here. I was thinking I could just go into the Armageddon off the back of, and then do a Cyclone Arrow, but I'm not confident that it'll actually finish the guy off. So let's just double tap with Fontaray here to get a bunch of damage tacked onto the Amorous Snake. There we go. Now we're going to hit Cyclone Arrow on the El Dorado Beast here, which should deal some pretty significant damage to it. Cyclone Arrow is unfortunately one of the weaker Theurgies, despite the fact that it's a single target skill. It's honestly comparable to Lightning Spike in overall effectiveness. That critical was a bit annoying, but it's actually not going to matter too much. So we should have enough damage tacked onto this guy. Once again, I'll fish for a critical God's Hand there. Let's see here. I will just, yeah, go for a normal physical strike here. Alright, this next life drain should put us in range to successfully defeat these guys with Armageddon. So let's just pop that out now. Go with Armageddon, and we can bypass a very, very tedious battle. If you decide to just let the Amorous Snake continually life drain the El Dorado Beast while you pelt it with Theurgies, this fight takes a while. With Armageddon, though, we can cut out quite a bit of that downtime. There we go. Alright, just one more for this file. Honestly, it doesn't really matter what I take here. We'll take the Sun Persona, Sun Arcana card, even though once you're at level 99, and honestly a little bit before that, it does nothing anymore. There might be a treasure chest up ahead. I sense an enemy presence there, too. If you're worn out from battling, don't push yourself too hard. Take some time to recuperate. We will continue on here. Understand. Understood. I'll continue to provide support. Wouldn't be a finish to the LP if there was not one more reading mistake from me. If it gets dangerous, don't hesitate to retreat. Alright, so like I said, we have enough Somas now that I could just use these for my dedicated healing, in all honesty. So let's just pop the Soma after that battle. It's time to get on to the final, Monad Chamber encounter for this file, but not the final Monad Chamber overall. Wizard's Mark is honestly kind of a lame reward for this point. Nihil White Model, also kind of a lame reward, but whatever. Proceeding onward. Okay, what awaits us around this corner? Heading through here. Hey, it's that guy again.
Hey.
Seems like whatever it is slipped away. Feels so strange. What in the world could it be? Ah, man. I feel like some kind of practical joke is being played on me, because I swear I haven't seen that guy before. Whatever. Heading into this area, we've got a brilliant Cyclops.
Be careful.
It's a strong enemy. Are you ready to fight? One last time, I was born ready.
All right.
Looks like this will be interesting. Let's go. Ooh, hey, these guys get the opening strike here. Not that that really affects me too much. There, the blue shawl is coming in clutch. So we've got the Brilliant Cyclops, and we've got the Change Relic. The Brilliant Cyclops has 20,000 HP. It is normal to slash, fire, light, and dark skills. Resistant to strike and pierce, which is a little unfortunate for us, and it drains ice, elect, and wind, so actually pretty annoying for Akihiko and Yukari. They are going to be pretty dependent on Theurgies to deal their damage here. The Change Relic off to the side here will do Makogan and Maegan, but the Brilliant Cyclops wants the Change Relic to be there. If you kill the Change Relic, the Brilliant Cyclops will start spamming Concentrate and Megidolaun. It'll get 2 actions to do that. Honestly, I could probably survive that just fine, but let's play this fight a little bit closer to the intended way that you're supposed to go about it. Obviously, we'll want to get the Debilitate set up on the Brilliant Cyclops. The nice thing about the Change Relic being weak to elect skills is that we can pass over to I may as well just set up a Masakunda on both of them, but we can use them as an opportunity to have Akihiko pass some, or do some baton pass, some shifts. I always get the terminology mixed up. It's called baton pass in Persona 5, so it's easy to forget that that's not what it's called in this version. So we're going to take advantage of the fact that the Brilliant Cyclops does not have any particular,
It is time.
what is it? Resistant to physical skills, or rather resistance to slash skills, and we're going to swing for the fences with Brave Blade. Honestly, it probably would be a better idea to charge up and just let Akihiko pass to Aegis there. We can also get a lot of opportunities to boost up our Theurgies here by having Yukari heal. So let's charge up here. Remember, we can have Akihiko do the pass. Okay, get the Media Rahan going here. Get a little bit of gathering for tranquility for Yukari. We're probably just going to cast Akihiko's Theurgy as soon as he gets it. He's probably going to get it pretty frequently in this battle because he's going to have a lot of buff uptime. Let's go for Lightning Spike here. Because the Change Relic is standing and it doesn't have any defensive debuffs, it should survive this. Yeah, there we go. Now we can pass over to Aegis and fish for another critical hit. Unfortunately, we did not get the shock on the Brilliant Cyclops, so we're not really getting that much more damage out of this. 1361 is not bad, though. Now, Metis really doesn't have anything to do except wait for her Theurgy to charge. So what we'll do is we'll just use this opportunity to keep a bunch of uptime for our buffs here. Speaking of uptime for buffs, let's get an uptime for our debuff and refresh the Debilitate on the Brilliant Cyclops. When Akihiko cannot guarantee that he'll be able to avoid killing the Change Relic, we can just do Ma Sukukaja. I'm not sure if the Change Relic is capable of healing itself. Okay, it's coming out with the diorama, and that's that's just kind of annoying more than anything. It doesn't really impede us too much. Let's get Ma Sukukaja refreshed on everybody here. And let's see if we can't do what. I guess we'll just use a Protection Sutra here. Again, there's going to be a little bit of waiting involved until we get access to our Theurgies for everybody. So Protection Sutra, extend our buffs here for a little bit longer. Speaking of buffs, why don't we get some scans going on these guys and see if we can't get some Theurgy charge for Fuka. You know what? I'm getting kind of bored here, honestly. This is not really a fight that is worth sandbagging on, just to avoid charge and Meggy Delaun. So let's see here. We will get a little bit of healing on everybody here. And let's see, accuracy and evasion is reverted. Yeah, if it's gonna keep diorama-ing the guy, let's go for Zeodyne here on the Change Relic. And I'm just gonna say nuts to this. Let's get to work on actually killing this guy. We will, of course, use our Brave Blade here, fish for the critical hit, and maybe we can pass over to Metis and get her Theurgy charged up quite a bit. Granted, she wouldn't really be able to do any excellent damage there. Let's see here. Do I already have charge in effect? I do indeed, I do indeed. You know what, screw it. Let's just go for a Deathbound. Not gonna be super practical, but it is going to be something. And here comes the Concentrate and Meggy Delowns, but I'm honestly not too pressed about that at this point. We are quite set on everything, so let's just debilitate the guy. Make sure that the debuffs don't time out at an inconvenient time. Fortunately, he doesn't get the double action, so I really don't have to worry that much about this. Ooh, nice. Let's see if Fuka can't give us some charge and concentrate to work with. Otherwise, I was just going to hit Tranquility so I could save up for Electric Onslaught. There we go. Okay, that's the case. Let's get some Cyclone Arrows going here. On the bright side about this also is that it means that Metis will also enjoy a little boost for her Garudine spell, even if it's not particularly significant damage. Yeah, I was like thinking, you know what, let's do this the intended way, and I was like, wait, the intended way is boring as hell. Let's do this the fun and interesting way instead. Let's get the Electric Onslaught going here. Would be beautiful if we could get Metis' Theurgy here, but 'tis not to be, so let's just go for the Garudine. If I can get a crit with, oh right, he drains wind, dumbass. That's fine. Not really worried about what happens to our characters here. Yeah, that was not really worth getting all concerned about, so let's go for another Brave Blade crit attempt here. I did heal this guy a little bit. You know what? Actually, I could pass over to Metis. You know what? Just for fun of it. Let's pass over to Metis. There we go. I was thinking, you know what, Armageddon, but I said I was only going to use Armageddon on the one boss fight. Okay, you know, I technically kind of lied about that anyway, but you'll see, you'll see. And you will not fault me for using Armageddon where I do. Good damage on this guy here. Is he resistant to Pierce skills again? Yeah, he is resistant to Pierce. So let's just hit the Media Rahan here. We'll have Akihiko swing with the God's Hand, though. Well, this guy is down. That should still deal some pretty significant damage. Just for the fun of it, just for the fun of it. And gets a little Crushing Fist action here. Oh, okay, that works. Critical solves some of our problems with the damage resistance there. Good stuff, good stuff. Not bad, not bad. What the heck? More opportunities to encounter rare enemies that I'm not going to take advantage of? I will take it, I will take it. There might be a treasure chest up ahead, but I sense an enemy presence there too. If you're worn out from battling, don't push yourself too hard. Take some time to recuperate. Let's continue on. Understood. I'll continue to provide support. If it gets dangerous, don't hesitate to retreat. Except not really. I just want to grab the treasure chest here, because I'm not going to be able to show it off otherwise. We get a Dead's Moon Husk here. The only guaranteed Dead Moon's Husk in the answer. Your only avenue for getting them is that there is a 6% chance that you will get them from treasure chests in Empyrean. So, yeah, get to searching if you really want one. If you want some help with that, there is a guaranteed weapon materials chest on floor 23, I believe. It's either floor 23 or 24, but you'll always find a materials chest there, so you can save and then keep keep trying to get the 6% chance to happen. Beyond this final door is the hardest boss in the answer, debatably the hardest boss in Persona 3 Reload. Certainly, I find him to be a bit more annoying than Elizabeth, and I was not super fond of Elizabeth to begin with. What exact boss waits us behind the final monad door? Well, I'm gonna take a few deep breaths here and transition over to the file where I have beaten this guy, so let's get this underway. Alright. Deep breaths. We've just got one last challenge in Persona 3 Reload, Episode Aegis, Persona 3 in general, the final battle beyond the final monad door. So let's just quickly go over my setup for this, because we need some pretty particular things. First and foremost, you will notice right away that if we look at Junpei, Akihiko, and Metis, the party I'm going to be using for this, maxed out strength on Junpei, maxed out strength and magic, maxed out strength and magic on Akihiko, and maxed out strength and magic on Metis. Metis has also been the beneficiary of most of my incenses in this playthrough, so she is a fair deal higher along on most of the stats than everyone else. Endurance as high as possible. Agility and luck don't matter too much, though having a bit more luck can make things a little bit more consistent deeper into the fight. For Aegis here, we've got four personae of note. First off is Orpheus Talos. He's just going to be our main tanking and healing. He also has the auto team buffs, which is actually going to be pretty important for controlling the first turn of the fight, though not for the reason you might expect. We've got Enduring Soul for a bailout there. We're probably not going to be using Charge and Concentrate too much, but they are there if I need to use them. It allows me to avoid having to use any, if I can find them in my inventory, which is so messy, but that's also a good thing, because we need a lot of these. But it can allow me to avoid using any charged herbs or concentrated herbs on Aegis. Akihiko and Junpei will be using the majority of our our concentrated herbs. The other personae of note here is that we have Yerlunger, who I set up with Resist Dark, and Resist Fizz, so he has some pretty good spread of resistances here. Growth 3 is not really there for any reason, it was just for leveling him up. We've also got Dark Boost, Dark Amp, and Multi-Target Boost. Dreamfest is going to be the main way that Aegis contributes to the damage here, so that's what we have Yerlunger here for. Another persona I've got built up, just in case there's a chance to use him, is that I've got Chiyu, he's got Masuku Kaja, God's Hand, and of course Strike Amp, Strike Boost, and Single Target Boost. If we happen to get lucky with Oracle, I might be able to work in a God's Hand at some point in the fight, eke out a little bit more extra damage. Then we have Kumbanda here, who is here for one thing specifically. He has insta-heal. This was just the easiest way I could get this skill on short notice. The ideal thing to get would be a Vest of Heresy, which you get from Judecca, and that can potentially have, insta-heal. We are going to need not ailment immunity, but the ability to recover from ailments instantly. That is very, very helpful in this fight. If you have ailment immunity, on the other hand, then on Heartless mode, this fight becomes unwinnable, so don't do that. On to equipment here. I guess I've got set up with a Cannon of Eminence with magic ability, just another bit of damage to eke out of Dreamfest. Dreamfest is just our best damage, independent of Armageddon, and we're going to have at least one opportunity to use it, so I may as well maximize it. The Vest of Eminence here with plus 100 HP and SP. The HP is mainly what I care about, but if I could get it, I would prefer the Vest of Heresy with insta-heal. That would make things a lot more manageable. The Legs of Heresy, on the other hand, give us Firm Stance. Again, there's like 4 to 5 abilities you can get for like the Heresy, the Eminence, the whatever equipment. I just want the one with Firm Stance, so our evasion is irrelevant. This just halves all incoming damage, and then there wasn't really another accessory I needed. If I had something that gave insta-heal, then I probably would slap that in. I just went with Earrings of Grit for an extra mulligan, just in case I get caught out without Orpheus Talos equipped. Over onto Junpei here, we want to maximize his fire damage. We've got Leviathan and the Agni Bracers equipped for fire boost and fire amp. It's very important that we're dealing as much fire damage with Junpei as possible, because this bonus boss is immune to critical hits. So Hack and Blast, that's a no-go. His physical attacks, no point in boosting those up, because they're not going to be able to crit, and Junpei relies so heavily on crits for most of his damage. Got the Armor of Light here to reduce magic damage, and the Leather Shoes of Eminence with Enduring Soul to give us a freebie or a get-out-of-jail-free card in certain cases. Over here, we've got Akihiko. Double Ziggurat will allow him to potentially work in a God's Hand, depending on how lucky we are with Oracle. It'd probably be better to have, I think it's the Fists of Heresy, or the Fists of Malevolence. I'm not sure on the names, but either or of those can have Anti-Ice Master, which is very helpful for the first 3 turns of the battle, and then you don't need to patch out Akihiko's weakness at that point. Leather Shoes of Eminence, just like Junpei, in order to have Enduring Soul, and then the Divine Pillar. On my first attempt at this fight, I had the Frozen Stone to nullify his ice weakness, but that only matters for 1 turn. Having all damage for the rest of the fight is probably the more important thing. And finally, we've got Metis over here, Axe of Eminence for Firm Stance, the Torso of Eminence for Arms Master, mostly because I just don't have anything better for her. It doesn't really matter all that much. I just want to go with that, because otherwise, well, I don't really have anything that looks like I do anything. We're not really going to be using any of Aigus's or Metis' physical skills, just her Theurgy, so it would probably be better to swap this out for something else. I just don't have anything better than this. Null Shot? Nah, she's got Insta-Heal, that doesn't matter. The Pede of Eminence for Strike Amp, and then Strike Bracers for Strike Boost. Again, maximizing Theurgy damage there. Speaking of Theurgies, you'll notice that everybody except Aigus is at half SP. This causes their Theurgy charge rate to be at its maximum possible, so that is why I just spent time spamming buffs until they got under half. I also wanted to make sure that Fuka is at maximum for her Theurgy, as additionally her SP. We're going to be scanning a lot in order to hopefully eke out another Oracle in the middle of the battle. Okay, and yeah, just starting with Orpheus Talos here so we can get those auto buffs up immediately. And again, that's going to be very important for manipulating the fight here. One thing I need to get up before we actually get into this battle is I've got a little turn list here, or schedule, to help me out. So let me see here. Let me just get over to that so that I can keep an eye on it while we're fighting. There we go, there we go. Okay, let's get into this. Into the Monad Chambers for one last time. Jump to the furthest point. Once we get to this hallway down here, of course we have to go through the door once more. And heading into the absolute depths. Let's go. Everybody ready? I'm about as ready as I'll ever be. For the record, you don't need a auto-team buffer persona, since this isn't really going to come up. You can just use Sylphie Aura to get the same thing I would be doing here, but it's just more convenient, in my opinion, to have an auto-buffer, and I really don't need anything else on Orpheus Talos, so I'm fine to go with that.
Perhaps.
I'm detecting immense power beyond this point. Stronger than anything I've seen so far. Are you ready, Aigus? Alright, deep breaths. Let's go. I'm ready. Understood. Let's go, then. So that's where that reading was coming from. I can't make sense of this data. It's powerful, but somehow faint. It's like he's not actually here.
I can't
He's going to attack. Aigus, get ready! Oh dear.
It's mine to take.
detected.
Alrighty. Here we have the Masked Boy. Honestly, kind of an underwhelming epithet. Kind of strikes me as a bit of a gangster of love and a space cowboy. Vibes of a smoker and a midnight toker. Why don't we just call this guy Joker? Anyways, Joker is our bonus boss of the game. Seems like he's not really there, and I have several reasons to suspect that he is not literally here. So, what he did there was open with Deikaja. If you have any team buffs in effect, he will open with Deikaja in order to purge that. That is actually desirable, because it prevents him from buffing himself, or rather, buffing himself up this turn. So you want to make sure that, I'm explaining this poorly, but basically, if he didn't use the Deikaja, he'd go right into Heat Riser and Concentrate, and we really don't want him to do that, so that's why we wanted to go with the team buffs at the start, even that might seem like it's pointless. Another big important thing to keep in mind is that if you start this battle with any Concentrate or Charge effects in play, he will just start with his insta-kill skill and immediately end your attempt, so don't do that. That's not a good idea. Speaking of other things that will cause him to immediately loop into his insta-kill routine, if you use 3 debuff skills, so if you fully debuff his attack, defense, and agility, on Heartless mode specifically, he will go into his insta-kill loop, so you cannot use Debilitate on him to keep him debuff fully. You do have to actually manage his debuff slots a bit more efficiently than that. That said, we can still use Debilitate as a means to counter his own buffs if we don't happen to have access to Deikaja or Deikaja rocks. Now, something to start this fight off is a bit of a coin flip. How difficult this fight is going to be, or how smooth it will go, is going to depend slightly on what Fuka gives us with the Oracle here. I can work with either, but one is definitely much preferred over the other. Okay, she gave us all buffs. That's undesirable, but that's not the end of the world. What we're going to do here is we are going to utilize, a Deikaja gem on this guy to purge his debuffs. And we are going to have Akihiko and Junpei go for Concentrate Herbs, so let's get menued over to those. My inventory is so full, so it's a little tough to use these. For the record, the Concentrated and Charging Herbs, they can only be used on yourself, which is actually pretty damn annoying. It would be a lot more efficient if I could use them on other party members, but that's just what we gotta deal with. Let's use the Concentrated Herb here, and something we're definitely going to need to hit this guy with is we need to hit him with Matsurunda, so what we're going to do here is use a Depleting Sutra on him. I also, of course, have Akihiko available for that, but we want to use items whenever possible just to economize our turn order. Here he's going to use Concentrate, and he's going to hit us for a pretty considerable amount of damage. There we go. Okay, so what I want to do here now is I would like to utilize Yerlinger, and we are going to hit this guy with Marukunda in order to make sure he's taking as much damage as possible. What I'm going to do next is we are going to go right into our Theurgies here. We're going to have Akihiko go for Electric Onslaught, and I've got a calculator right here. Unlike with Elizabeth, where you can eyeball the HP values, we need to be very particular about how much damage we do to this guy. He's got 32,000 HP to burn through. That's 2680, so let me get that marked down there. But yeah, he's got 32,000 HP to burn through. And if we deal 16,000 of that before a specific point, he will counter with Dia Rahan and render the fight unwinnable. So we cannot do that. We have to limit it between 14,000 and 15,999. Junpei's Blaze of Life here, for the record, its healing actually comes pretty in handy. We can use this to just make sure he fully heals himself in these situations. There we go. Also, while I'm thinking of it, we want to have Fuka scanning this guy so that we're getting her Theurgy charged up very quickly. Let me see here. What do I want Metis to do? I think what I'll do here is I'll just go for the charge, so let's have her go for that. Now, depending on what he decides to do here, we might have Akihiko go down at this point. Okay, he's going for Ice Age. Honestly, better that he gets that out of the way first, so let's have him do that. Okay, that's not bad, that's not bad, that's fine. He is gonna go for Diamond Dust on Akihiko, but he should have just enough HP to survive that. Okay, the freeze is annoying, but it is manageable. Vorpal Blade coming out. If he gets a crit here, that's actually going to be nice for Akihiko, because that purges the freeze. Okay, we're looking good here. What I'm going to do now is I am going to actually have Aegis go for Concentrate here, and because Akihiko and Junpei do not have their Theurgies at the ready, we can focus on having them just extend buffs and debuffs. Let's get a Bead Chain thrown out so that we have our HP at full here, and we are going to have Junpei go for a Matarunda effect on this guy. We will just use the Depleting Sutra here. You'll note that I don't have too many Depleting Sutras, but I have enough. This fight's going to get very particular in how it proceeds from this point going forward. Let's have Metis go for her Theurgy right here. Charging Blitz. Oh, damn it, I didn't pay attention. Alright, I'm just going to assume that Junpei did 3,500 damage there, so let's just add that in. It should be roughly equivalent to what he did. Let's have Metis use her Charging Blitz here now, and let me make absolutely sure I get this, because I really need to be keeping close attention to how much damage we're actually laying out here. Okay, that's 2494. So we're roughly at 8,600. Not precisely what we've got. Here's the wind skill coming out. That's probably going to send Junpei to the ground and kill him, but he has Enduring Soul, and we shouldn't really need it for the rest of the battle. Ooh, the Dizzy. That's actually fine. That's actually fine. This will probably finish him off. Yeah, okay, that caused the, what am I thinking here? Let's get the scan here. Okay, so that took his Enduring Soul. That's actually not going to matter too much, because we're probably going to lose most of our Enduring Souls later on. Let me see here. What I'm going to go for with Aegis, we need to get our buffs reestablished here, so what we're going to go for is we are going to go for, first off, yeah, okay, I got that set. We're going to go for a Matarukaja Potato or a Powering Sutra. Whichever one we have is fine. Let's just go for the Matarukaja Potato. Yeah, that's fine, that's fine. And what we will do here is we will have Akihiko use a Mabasuri gem to get Junpei recovered from the down and the dizzy. There we go. Remember, Metis has insta-heal, so we don't need to worry about her just getting that reset. Let's go for Marakukaja here. And let's see, how much Theurgy charge does Fuka have? Fine there. Okay, I can have Metis focus on just doing debuffs on this guy, so let's extend out that defense debuff by using the Atrophying Sutra here. There we go. Alright, my Aegon's coming out. That's not a problem. What is going to be a problem is his next action after this. He is going to be using an insta-kill spell, and unfortunately, Enduring Soul takes precedence over the insta-kills. It will not utilize your homunculi against it for your party members, which is really annoying, so the Enduring Soul has been exhausted for most of our party members, but that's not a big deal. What we want to switch to now is actually Kumbanda, believe it or not. Pretty funny that this is the guy we want to swap to for this turn. Well, actually, no. Better plan. It doesn't really matter too much who I switch to at this point. Who I'm going to switch to now is Yerlinger. So let's see here. And we've got all our buffs up. Yep, just always want to be doubly sure you got that. Fuka is getting close there. And we are going to use Dreamfest here. So once again, I got to make sure I'm taking down the number that I actually get here. So let's get this recorded. Okay, 2136, that equals... Okay, we're getting close to the point I want to be at. Let's have Akihiko use a concentrated herb here. Get that thrown up. Okay, Sonata is focused. Do I want to have Junpei do the same thing? I believe I do. So let's have him also get that thrown up. Well, actually, nah, let's wait a bit on that. And let's actually just keep our buffs extended here. So the next thing we've got coming up, and I already charged up Metis. No, I did not. We're going to have her charge up now. Alright, what's he going to go for? Well, actually, I know exactly what he's going to go for. So he's going to go for Stagnant Air here. For the record, one other thing that triggers the insta-kill loop, you don't have to worry about your party members being immune to anything, but if Aegis is immune to anything, that will trigger the insta-kill loop, so keep that in mind. So there, he's going to poison us, and we actually want to make sure we do not cure the poison on everyone. We want to actually keep that in effect. I am just going to throw up... Kumbanda here for the insta-heal. but we want to keep our debuffs on everyone else. Let me see here. We will also want to use a Depleting Sutra on this guy, once again to extend... Well, actually, no, Akihiko can just do the Matarunda, so what do I want to do here? I would like to... Actually, you know what? Nah, let's not use Kumbanda here. Instead, what I'd like to do is throw up a charge here in case I get an opportunity to use God's Hand. So yeah, my original plan for Kumbanda not really working out here due to how the turn order happened to fall, but that's okay. Let's get the Matarunda thrown up here. And I already scanned this guy this turn, right? Let's see here. I have not. Okay, let's get that scan. And now we can have Junpei use the concentrated herb. He's not going to be gaining any Theurgy charge here because, of course, he is poisoned. And I'm actually going to have Metis do something a little unexpected here. We are going to be using a Kamasubi water to get some healing up here. So on this turn, he's going to use Sexy Dance, and what he requires is that every single character be inflicted with an ailment, and specifically what he's looking for is he wants everyone, or he wants at least one person with charm and one person with poison, and that as long as everyone else also has an ailment, he will not go into his insta-kill loop. This is a Heartless exclusive behavior, so it's not something you need to worry about outside of it. Bit of an unfortunate time for the attack power boost to expire, but it's not the end of the world. Okay, so what we're going to do here is now we are going to throw up, let me see. Let's, his defense drop is going to expire soon, so we want to extend that out with a Atrophying Sutra. We're hanging in here. I can just have Metis use Matarukaja on her turn. Let me see here. Yeah, he's too resistant to physical for Junpei to really accomplish anything here. So instead, we're just going to use Rakukaja to extend that out for a little bit more. He's about to go into his physical attack pattern, so that's what we have to look for on this upcoming term. Let's use Matarukaja here. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to hit any significant damage on him. He's also going to be going for crit spam, which is pretty unfortunate, because obviously we cannot counteract that. Alright, Vorpal Blade coming out. This is almost assuredly going to crit somebody, but that's not the end of the world. Okay, there is one crit. He goes for the Heat Riser, but that's fine, because we can just instantly counter that with a Depleting Sutra and still keep the debuffs on him, so that's why I'm not too worried about running out of, Debilitating Sutra. That's why I'm not too worried about running out of, Depleting Sutras at this point. Okay. So I need to be mindful of how much damage this deals to him, so let's go for the Electric Onslaught right here. Now it's going to be interesting to see if we can get another one of these ready to go before the fight progresses too much. Let's see what we get off of this one. Okay, that's plus 28, 73, that equals... Okay, I don't want to have Junpei use his Theurgy yet. So what I'm actually going to have Junpei do is we are just going to use a Bead Chain with him to get everybody fully healed. And we are actually going to go for a Theurgy with Metis here, which fortunately we were already charged up, so let's just unload with this real quick. And this should deal just low enough damage that it won't trigger the insta-kill loop. If it does, well, I get to go back to the start of the battle. Fortunately, I don't have to worry about commentating it, and I can just focus on actually doing what I need to. Ooh, shit, that might be bad. He's going for Will of Rebellion. I really hope I actually rolled low on... Okay. Oof! That's actually really good to see. That means he is right where we want him to be. Alright, he's going for Heat Razor here. So, what we're going to do... let me see. Oh boy. I need to think really, really hard about what I want to hit here. So I think... Well, first off, I absolutely need to use the Debilitating Sutra here. So that's what we're going to do. Just counter all of his buffs there. Junpei, we are just going to have to guard this turn, and we're going to use a Matarukaja, or actually a Rakukaja or Protection Sutra with Akihiko here. There we go. Junpei is just going to guard real quick. And we are going to have Metis throw up the Matarukaja on us. Alright, so now our goal is to just survive. We have 4 turns to win this fight, so we're gonna need some Theurgies to re-up before this is all over. He's going for another Heat Riser here. By the way, that Will of Rebellion skill allows him to take 3 actions per turn now. And if I had dealt too much damage to him, he would have followed up the first Will of Rebellion with Dia Rahan, rendering the fight unwinnable, because like I said, we have got 3 turns to pull through this. So now I really, really need to focus on what he's going to do here. Okay. First off, let's, this time, this is what we need Kumbanda for. I really, really need to have, insta-heal ready. Sorry, I'm really, really nervous here. Let me see. So we got that.
Okay.
We need to use the debilitating sutra, right. I just want to keep all my ducks in a row. We are so close to winning this fight. I just have to get a few more Theurgies thrown off on this guy, and then we are good to go. Let's see. Akihiko here. Let's go for, a bead chain here real quick. Alright. Now what we're going to do is we are going to have Junpei go for Blaze of Life. I don't want to use Oracle just yet, because there is a chance that Fuka will recharge us after this. Okay. And I still want to keep note of how much damage he's taking, 32, 33, or 23. Because we do need to make sure once he falls between below 22,000, that's when we hit him with our, what is it? Our Armageddon. So we just gotta hold out until I can cast that, and hopefully get a few more Yes! Okay, thank you, Fuka. That is what we needed really, really desperately. Okay, let's see here. So let's just keep everybody's stats in mind. Let's go for... Let's just keep Mata Rukaja up so that everybody is ready to go with their Theurgies at maximum possible damage. Okay, so what he should be going for here is Elect Break. Yes, very good. And the reason I really desperately needed to have insta-heal at the ready is because Wild Thunder has an incredibly high chance of shocking everyone at this point. So yeah, there we go. That's exactly what I was afraid of. I have the insta-heal. We are good to go. Let's see, Junpei's gonna be looking a little rough here. He's going for the Heat Riser, that's fine. Alright, so what I absolutely need to get off of, though, is Kumbanda here. Right back to Orpheus Talos. There we go, we've got Armageddon at the ready. We should have this fight in the bag. Let's do Salvation here. Get everybody recovered real quick. There we go. Okay, effective revolution ended. That is fine. Okay, we're looking good. Let me see here. We do need to use a debilitating sutra on him, so let's just immediately recounter with that. Anytime he strikes a weakness, he will use that opportunity, or strikes a weakness or hits a crit, he will use that opportunity to set up Heat Riser, which honestly kind of works to our advantage. Let's just get Ma Rakukaja set up here. We should have this fight in the bag now. Oh my goodness, I am so nervous. Hopefully we've got this. Hopefully I have not made any serious execution errors. Once again, let's just get everybody set up here. And this next turn, we should be good to go. He's gonna go for Tetrakarn here, and he should go for Blazing Hell and like a light skill. That's perfectly fine. Okay, yep, there's the Blazing Hell. We're fine there. Junpei completely no-sells that, so he's not concerned about having any damage from that. And here comes the Makogound. Okay. Whew. So, if the fight were to go on any longer than this... let me see here. Actually, hold on. Do I risk... Yes, we should be able to win here. I can still make this work, even if Armageddon doesn't do quite what I'm hoping for here. So let's go for the Armageddon now. If we were to get to turn 15 and 16, he would go for Stagnant Air, Tentarafu, and Poison Mist, then Evil Smile and Sexy Dance, and if your entire team is not inflicted with one of each of the ailments that hits you with, he would instead just go into his insta-kill move, Sinful Shell, but we have made it through that, so with the remaining Theurgies that we're able to hit him with, we should be able to finish this battle off. Let's just go for this. There we go. Okay, Junpei, we are going to go for Brave Blade here. Oh shit, right, Tetrakarn, dumbass. That's okay. We should still be able to finish him off with Charging Blitz. I should have gone for a Megidolaon gem there, but that's fine. Okay, there we go. And with this kick, we should win. There we go, he's done. He is toasted. Victory is ours! We have defeated the Joker! Yes! Oh! God, that fight is so stressful.
Multiple team members are out of commission. Unable to. Custom failing bite. No, it can't be. I guess, wake up. I guess.
We have done it. We have done it. The final challenge of Persona 3 has been toppled.
Yes.
I'm not picking up the signal anymore. Looks like we've won. He was so strong. He even had the same power as Aegis. Whew, that was formidable. I ain't even gonna front on that one. You can say that again. Good work out there. Still though, I wonder who that was. It gave us such a strange reading. Like, it wasn't a shadow, but it wasn't a human either. It was more like a mass of someone's thoughts or desires. The more I think about it, the less sense it makes.
That means
If I had to guess, I'd say that person was likely a product of the abyss of time, reflecting someone's wishes. Really? But none of us know who that person is, so I don't think any of us would have wished to encounter them. Maybe nobody wished to meet that specific person, but they could have wished for something like, I want to fight someone really strong, for example. Something more vague. Perhaps it was Sonata-san? Yeah, that sounds like me, alright. Thank you, Akihiko. I guess it's also possible that the Abyss had nothing to do with it, and this was the doing of some other thing in some other place. A place other than the Abyss.
how do I put
Maybe
this?
someone, or multiple people's, inner thoughts were manifested somewhere else, and that place connected to the Abyss. And if the Abyss used that connection to grant a wish, then maybe both it and the other place are equally responsible. This got too complicated. I'm lost. Me too. Maybe we're just not meant to understand what happened. Well, regardless, I wish Junpei had something to say on that. Regardless, your reward for defeating the Joker is the Omnipotent Orb, immunity to everything, and the Amritite Necklace, immunity to all ailments. Looks like a dead end. You want to head back right away? Yep, we're out of Monad. Careful on your way back. And that's it. That is Persona 3 Reload. That is Persona 3. That is Shin Megami Tensei Persona 3 for the PS2. That is Persona 3 FES. That is Persona 3 Portable. That is The Answer. That is Episode Aegis. That is everything completed, all documented and archived on my channel here. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say or think. I'm here. It's the end. Just thank you. If you made it this far, if you followed this series, if you watched every little scrap of material I uploaded, even if you watched half of the material I uploaded, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It was one of the loftiest projects I've ever committed time to, and it took me over 2 years to complete it. And if you were following with vested interest, thank you so much. If you are watching in the future, thank you doubly so. It means so much when these actually, get vindicated by history and actually gather eyes in the future. A lot of things I've done have done that, and maybe this will be the same. Even if it doesn't, it's something that I did. Something that I committed to. Something that I finished and saw through. I saw every difficult challenge completed. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you in whatever I make next. Hey. See that they're remaking Persona 4.
I don't dispute the doubts you've outlined, but it's my right to waste your time.